guys, welcome back to 𝘿𝙘𝙢𝓚. Today we're in a foil called the Magnetizer, featuring our Probopass from Brilliant Stars, the new card with the Magnetic Tension tech. For 2 colorless energy, you get to switch one of your opponent's bench Pokemon with their active, and then do 40 damage to the new active Pokemon. And since it's a metal type, we get to boost this attack's damage with our Perrserker. We got 3 copies to help us do Steely Spirit for that extra 20 damage for each copy we have in play. We also have our choice belt to do even more damage to our opponent's bench V Pokemon. So we are essentially trying to kill all of their bench supports like Sobble, Flaffy, or any other one-price cards that rely on, like even Bibarel. We can actually kill it with our Probopass using our Perrserker to boost damage, doing up to 80 or even 100 damage with our Magnetic Tension, and then collecting the knockout with our RS Inteleon for that extra 2 damage counters. We can also do Iron Tackle for up to 190 damage or more with our Choice Belt Perrserker for only 1 extra metal energy cost. So if we target our opponent's V cards on the bench, we can do up to 110 damage with our Magnetic Tension to start with, and then collect the knockout with our Iron Tackle and RS Inteleon later on. We also have 1 copy of Farfetch'd that was do League Lash for 20 base damage plus 10 more for each damage counter on your opponent's active Pokemon, helping us collect the knockout just in case we can't do our Iron Tackle just because this attack costs 3 energies, but we do have 1 copy of 𝘿𝙘𝙢𝙚 to help us support that attack, and our Shady Dealings Drizzle to get it out into our hand. So for our setup cards, we have 4 VIP Pass and 4 Level Ball to get our basics, 4 Incense and 1 Ultra Ball for the evolution. We can also do our Shady Dealings with our Level Ball obviously, but it's important to evolve our Drizzle fast so you get to do your Quick Shoot early for that extra few damage counters, which is going to help you a lot later on in the game. As for our supporter cards, we have 2 Bird Keepers for the switch, 1 Bruno, 2 Cynthia, 3 Marnies, 2 Research, and 1 Shauna for the draw. We have no boss order just because our attack and ability allows us to target any one of our opponent's bench Pokemon. Finally, for our energy cards, we have 4 Twin Energy, 4 Basic Metal, 1 Capture, and 1 Double Turbo. We're also playing 1 Fan of Waves to help us buy some time for us to evolve all of our Pokemons if they are playing special energy. So that's all for the deck list. Let's go for gameplay! Okay, let's go for our first game versus Arceus VSTAR and Pikachu V Union. So they are playing Trinity Nova with V Union combo. Very interesting. If they have Adventurous Discovery, Familiar Bell, Ultra Ball, they can actually discard all 4 pieces by their second turn, and at the same time do Starbirth for a double turbo, extra pieces to discard from their hand, and then Meowth for the discard effect, and then essentially summon the V Union while doing a Trinity Nova at the same time on the second turn. I think that's a huge feat. I think that would be quite interesting to see. But I don't think it's that easy, because if you have at least 1 piece stuck in the prize card, if you have one of your V Unions stuck there, I don't think it's that easy to get it out. You need to Starbirth for a Peonia and a double turbo, and somehow discard those extra pieces inside the deck. So it's gonna be quite tricky to play those, especially since we have Marnied them. I don't think it's that easy for them to do it. So they didn't get their Arceus on the first turn. We played a Marnie on our first turn, going second, and now they're benching the Arceus. There we go. A bit too late. Thank God, actually, we are quite fortunate because we went second and they actually didn't bench a basic. So we got our Bird Keeper, we got to evolve everything. That's perfect. Now we get to do Magnetic Tension to kill, to damage the Arceus. Quite heavy damage that we're doing right now. So I'm quite happy. At least we get to do 110 damage with our Choice Belt and double Perrserker. We got our Incense for the first Perrserker. We're gonna Level Ball for Drizzle. So even though you may not need to do Shady Dealings, it's important to evolve it fast, just because we can do our Quick Shoot early to earn that extra few damage counters, which is gonna help us a lot later on in the game by piling up those damage counters. So make sure you evolve it fast. Drizzle, don't bother about the ability. You know, it's not that the Drizzle Shady Dealings is not really that powerful. The more broken ability would be Quick Shoot, I would say. Quick Shoot is much more broken than your Shady Dealings. So we got a second Perrserker out, and we got 110 damage in. If they don't kill us on the next turn, if they got blindsided by the V Union, which they're probably gonna do, because most people are obsessed with that card, they can actually choose to search for a double turbo and kill us on the active spot. If they knock out our active Pokemon, we can't kill the Arceus VSTAR for our next Pokemon, unless if we get our 𝘿𝙘𝙢𝙚. So it's quite impossible to do everything by the next turn. We need to evolve, get the Twin Energy, and get a 𝘿𝙘𝙢𝙚 as well, and we don't even have a Metal Energy discarded, so I don't think it's possible for us to attack with the second. We can't use Iron Tackle for our second Probopass. So if they don't kill us this turn, we can actually do Iron Tackle to collect the knockout. Iron Tackle does 190 damage against a VSTAR. That's just right to kill it off if they don't play a Cherrim. So it's quite difficult to win against a VSTAR just because we have the Cherrim and Cheryl card right now. So you have both a double healing, double reversal effect, completely reversing all damage and all damage counter placed on your Arceus, and forcing your opponent to hit 280 damage all over again. So Arceus is pretty broken just because of that, just because of those supports. You're supporting Cherrim, you're supporting Dunsparce, powerful energy, double turbo. I mean, that's why this card is so broken. So they got no cards in their hand though. So they got their V Union at last, but they got no double turbo for the Trinity Nova. They got nothing. They actually have to pass a turn doing nothing and draw from the top deck with a gamble on the next turn. So let's see what they're gonna do after that. We actually got our first knockout right here, killing off a VSTAR, and they got no energies in play. That is ridiculous though. No Arceus V, no basic on the bench. This is crazy. We actually get to kill it right now. You'll see right here, we are doing 190 damage, which is a little bit more than enough. 20 extra damage thanks to Perrserker. Double Perrserker. We didn't get our Inteleon, otherwise we would have done 320. So that's the power of Inteleon. That's why I say evolve it fast. We got our Inteleon right now. I actually forgot to evolve in a few games you'll see later. I actually forgot to evolve. I have an incense in my hand, but I forgot to evolve. We'll talk about that later, but we actually won that. They conceded because they got no basic. They got no Arceus on the bench, nothing in their hand, so they got like a total stuck, a total trap. They trapped themselves though, because they could have Starbirth for a double turbo and kill us in the active spot, which is gonna buy them an extra few turns before getting out the V Union, because they don't need a Pikachu just yet. It would actually save them. It would do a lot more if they, you know, attack us, kill us, if they do a knockout fast rather than pull out the V Union early. So there's no point doing that just because we are playing a one price. We can't actually kill the Arceus with 2 hits even, unless if we do our Iron Tackle, which is quite difficult just because it needs 3 energies. Okay, here comes Inteleon. We are playing up against the Rebel Clash, Inteleon VMAX, Inteleon, and Arceus. So they are playing Arceus VSTAR surprisingly. We don't actually see, we are not seeing that showing up. It's not showing up until later on in the game, much later, which is a bit of a surprise. Unfortunate surprise. I don't like Arceus. It's just way too crazy. That one card Cherrim destroys all one prize. It basically makes you unable to play any one prize deck, because one prize deck cannot kill a VSTAR with 1 hit. It's impossible for one prize decks to kill VSTAR, do a 1-hit knockout against a VSTAR. So we got our Drizzle to prevent the knockout, because they can do a second snipe shot to kill it off on the bench. We actually get to kill the Sableye right now. Oh, we can't actually do it, because we got no Perrserker. I think it would be better if we get our Metal Energy for, we're only doing 20 damage, look at that. Because it's a double turbo, it's not a twin energy. 20 damage with Magnetic Tension. If we do Iron Tackle, we at least get to do 100 damage right now. There we go, we got our Metal Energy, that's great. We do have 4 copies. So 6 special energies and 4 basic metal. I don't think it's too bad just because that 1 double turbo helps us, drag anything into the active spot. If we are stuck with nothing, no attackers and nothing else to do, we can actually do Magnetic Tension to drag something like a heavy retreat cost Pokemon, anything on the bench that can't attack, that don't have enough energies to attack, that can't attack fast. We can drag that Pokemon, buy us an extra few turns to do Iron Tackle later on, collect a few extra prizes that way. Or to do Quick Shoot for Farfetch to collect the knockout. Because if we buy 1 or 2 turns, we can Quick Shoot the Crobat for up to 6 damage counters, and then we can do Farfetch to possibly kill it with a Choice Bell. But I think we need 8 damage counters at least. I don't think it's possible. So 14, 17, 170 damage, up to a total of 17 damage counters if we kill it, if we have 6 damage counters on the Crobat, and if we have a Twin Energy and a Choice Belt attached to Farfetch. So not quite enough, unfortunately. 10 damage remaining. So you have to actually calculate carefully if you're playing Inteleon. That's the power of this card. We are only playing 2 copies though, so expect to only have 1 copy in play every game. But if you're lucky enough, you may be able to pull out 2 copies for Quick Shoot twice in a row, twice every single turn, which would be pretty broken on its own. So most people play like 3 of the Shady Dealings Inteleon and 1 Quick Shoot, or maybe 3 Quick Shoot and 1 Shady Dealings. But I actually prefer to play, none of the Shady Dealings Inteleon, just because the Quick Shoot one is much more useful than the Shady Dealings. So in my opinion at least. So they did their Tornadus to push out our active, so that they get to damage our bench Pokemon, just because we are attaching back to the Probopass anyway. I always call it a Abomasnow for some reason. We're gonna attach it back from our hand to the Probopass, so might as well just Hydro Snipe something else. But we can actually attack with Farfetch, and it's surviving at least 1 hit, thank god. If they play Quick Shoot though on the next turn, they can actually kill Farfetch. So let's hope, fingers crossed, they don't have that card in their deck. They may be playing nothing but the Shady Dealings one. We got our Twin Energy. At least we get to do League Lash and then collect the knockout on the next turn with another Iron Tackle. Unfortunately, we actually have to waste our Quick Shoot on the Inteleon. We didn't have to, but we actually forgot to count the damage counters on it. So if we are planning to kill it with an Iron Tackle on the next turn, we don't have an Escape Rope, so we can't actually kill it with Magnetic Tension. It's better to have like Escape Rope boss for this deck, but I prefer not to, just because we don't have the space for it. Playing so many Pokemon cards, so many Perrserker, and Stage 1, Stage 2 as well, I don't think we have the space for that. It's better to add sufficient supply, enough copies of your supporter cards to help you draw fast enough, to evolve fast enough, and to do your attacks early, rather than swap for those Escape Rope extra effects that you don't really need. I don't think we need those cards, because we already can attack with our Iron Tackle on the next turn. Iron Tackle to collect the knockout. We are wasting those damage counters though, so make sure you count your damage counters early if you can. They may heal their Pokemon, so I don't think it's wise to spread too much. I don't know, you never know what they're gonna play. If they heal with like a Lucky Ice Pop, I don't know. I don't think it's too likely for them to have that card in this deck. Playing Arceus Inteleon. So it's an Arceus VSTAR Inteleon VMAX Inteleon deck. Pretty crazy, isn't it? Quite bizarre, because it's a VMAX with the 1 price Inteleon, and then they got the Arceus as well. Quite weird. They got the Inteleon first though, which actually is gonna screw them a lot. So we got our Twin Energy for the second one. We're gonna do Iron Tackle, and then possibly another, a second Iron Tackle on the next turn. Okay, let's just try to kill the Arceus later on. They may play a Sharon, but let's just gamble on them not drawing it out in time. They're probably gonna Star Birth for that card though, so I don't think it's smart to be targeting the Arceus, but we actually decided to do that for this game. If we don't kill the Arceus though, we don't have enough prize, right? They can just play Scoop Up Net to remove all damage counters on the Tornadus or even the Inteleon. So I don't think it's wise to place damage counters on the Tornadus unless if we don't have a choice. So we got our second Sobble on the bench. Quite interesting. I'm excited to see what we're gonna pull off right now. So we could actually kill the Inteleon if they don't attack this turn. They're probably gonna play a Melanie though. Like, Starbirth for a Melanie, I mean, that's pretty obvious, right? If they play like a switch and a Melanie, we're done. So they got that ability to attack this turn. How much are we doing? I think we're doing 160 damage if we have the second Perrserker on the Inteleon, so I think it's better to kill it right now. They actually bench another one though, so we can kill all the one prize for the final 3 prize cards. So they decided to pause the turn, look at that. So no Starbirth, they decided to keep it for later on in the game, which is a big surprise. Because normally people would use that immediately after the evolution. I think it would normally be wiser, mostly in most situations, but it's kind of the same thing though, isn't it? If you use it now or later, it's kind of the same. But they could have done the knockout right now if they did a Melanie, so I think it would be much wiser to play that ability early whenever you can. I don't think it's smart to skip a turn not attacking. So we got our choice belt. I think we did magnetic tension. They knew we were gonna target the Arceus, I suppose, and then they're gonna just keep the double. They're gonna keep that ability for the Cherrim. So we actually took the bait and targeted the Arceus this turn with both our quick shoot and magnetic tension. We did up to I'm not sure how much we do. 110 up to 160 damage, I think. 150 damage on the Arceus VSTAR. And we took the bait. Look at that. We were quite silly. Oh well. We could have killed the Inteleon though. We got our second Perrserker, we could have killed the Inteleon. And then magnetic tension on the next turn, kill off the Tornadus, kill off the Sableye, but I don't think it's that easy though. The 𝘿𝙬𝙢, because the second one actually has a double turbo, and double turbo means, you know, it does 20 less damage, so it's only doing 60 damage to the 𝘿𝙬𝙢, not enough to kill it. There we go, they got a Cherrim. So this is horrible. We actually wasted our investment. And the one with the Twin Energy and Choice Belt is gonna get killed this turn, which is gonna set us back by so much. They got a Dunsparce, which they don't actually need, but they are benching it anyways. You'll see, but there we go, they actually benched it. They don't need it. It's quite ridiculous that they are giving us that extra 1 prize, right? They don't need the Dunsparce. Why are they doing that? Oh well. It's up for grabs now, so we're gonna grab it. We're doing 60 damage with magnetic tension, exactly enough to kill the Dunsparce. So let's just collect 1 prize this turn and then charge up our I'm almost calling it a Bomb Snow again. Charge up our Probopass for the next Iron Tackle or possibly magnetic tension. I think our best bet right now is to do magnetic tension all the way to kill all the 1 prize cards. Because I think we have 2 more Probopass to spare. Because they killed our Farfetch, right? They killed Farfetch and 1 Probopass. So we actually have 3 more Probopass. Let's just play a Marnie right now and get our energy cards. We got a quick shoot, so let's do our quick shoot on the, what's it called? 𝘿𝙬𝙢. Or maybe the Tornadus. I'm not sure which one to do really. Are we gonna quick shoot the Tornadus or the 𝘿𝙬𝙢? 𝘿𝙬𝙢 is probably gonna evolve, or they could actually decide to scoop it up. Whichever we quick shoot though, they're probably gonna scoop up whatever Pokemon that we decide. So I don't think there's any point. If they get their scoop up, then if they have that card in the deck, we're done. If they have it prized though, we're safe. So it's anyone's game at this point. Fingers crossed they don't get their scoop up net, because that's all they need. They actually have Sharon. So Sharon actually works for Tornadus as well, just because it's a flying type colorless. So let's play Marnie for the energy. We can't afford to discard our Probopass, so that's why we didn't play Research. So we got our Twin Energy for Nosepass. I've never played Nosepass Probopass before in my life, so that's why it's kind of difficult to use their name. It's kind of difficult to say their name while I'm playing this game just because it's so unusual. Probopass. First time ever. So let's do Magnetic Tension to kill the Dunsparce. I don't think there's any debate for that. Knocking out for 1 extra prize, and then we just need to either kill an Arceus with 2 Iron Tackles or a double Magnetic Tension for the final 2 prize. I think our best bet is to do that. Magnetic Tension twice. Because they have quite possibly, I would say, there's a high chance of them having a second copy of the Cherrim, because they haven't even played the Starbirth yet. So if they play that ability, they can search their deck for another Cherrim or even a Cheryl to remove everything, and we're dead. Basically, you know, erasing all of our turns, everything that we did, all of our investment, all those damage counters is zeroed. Ridiculous, right? There should be a scoop up block. There should definitely be a scoop up block like the old Mr. Mime from Sun and Moon. So they played, unfortunately, a Collapse Stadium. We're just going to discard Sobble so that we get to play our Research. If they kill us, we're just going to play Research because Cynthia is not going to draw us enough cards anyways. We need to draw our Probopass and 1 Metal Energy if we want to do Iron Tackle. I think our best bet though is to play Magnetic Tension. Let's hope they don't evolve the Drizzile, and that's gonna give us a knockout on the next turn. And then all we need to do is bench another Nosepass with the Level Ball for the final knockout. We don't have a boss, so unfortunately we can't do Iron Tackle for the last one. We do have a Raihan, but we don't have a boss. So Iron Tackle and a boss would have helped us collect the last knockout with our Perrserker, doing 120 up to 160 damage to kill the Inteleon or the, what's it called, Tornadoes. So it's quite easy if we have that card. If we do a Raihan, we can't do a boss though, right? My bad. So I don't think it's possible. Counter Catcher. There used to be a card called Counter Catcher. I love that one so much because it's an item card. It's an item, you don't have to flip a coin, you just have to wait for your opponent to draw enough prize cards. If you have fewer prize cards than your opponent, you get to play that catcher to do the boss aura effect, which is quite crazy. Great Catcher. Oh, I remember that card. Great Catcher. Insane. That was insane though. Imagine if there's such a thing for V cards. Can you imagine? A V Catcher. But we actually wanted to catch a 1 prize basic, a 1 prize card on a bench for this game. Not necessarily a basic, but a 1 prize. So we actually shuffled the deck so that that Probopass is back inside the deck. It's not at the bottom now. I called it a Bomber Snow again. So we're just gonna attach the capture just because we just need another energy for the Magnetic Tension. So we decided not to play Iron Tackle after all. We're just gonna kill the Drizzile right now. They actually did not evolve on the last turn. So killing the Drizzile and then quick shoot the Tornadoes. Fingers crossed they don't get, they already did their Starbirth. They finally did Starbirth and they got no evolution, no scoop on that. Interesting. So I don't think they are playing those cards for this list. Or maybe they have it priced, I don't know. Because Inteleon normally has scoop up nets, right? I mean, it's quite common for you to see those cards. They are playing the VMAX though, so quite a lot of cards that they are having inside their deck. I don't think they have the space for those, for that many copies. So that's why they didn't evolve the Drizzile. We actually get to kill the Drizzile before it evolves. And then now we get to kill the Tornadus on the next turn if they don't play their skill, and they just play a Raihan for the search. For the crazy search, if they got a Scoponet inside their deck, we're done. Because 100 damage is not enough. 100 damage is not enough to kill anything. We can slowly quick shoot the Inteleon though. Oh, there we go. They actually bench a Sobble. So no scoop on that. That's the end. I suppose that's the... they're giving up by benching the Sobble, I suppose. But we're gonna kill the Tornadus just because we can. We actually have one final copy of the Probopass, so it's quite risky right here. It's still a gamble, unfortunately. We may not get the evolution, but we have our one final copy of Evolution Incense and one more Ultra Ball to get it into our hands, so I don't think it's that unlikely. We have 3 cards inside the deck to search for Probopass for that evolution, and that's all we need. We just need that one evolution. We actually need an energy from our hand as well, so let's not forget to attach. We almost forgot. Let's do the twin energy and then research, because that's a capture, that's not a twin energy. So research for the evolution. We're gonna quick shoot the Tornado. We got it though. We got the Ultra Ball. And we're gonna do Magnetic Tension, knocking out the Tornadus for the final prize. Because we got quick shoot. Don't forget to do quick shoot first, because you can't do the ability after the attack. You have to do the ability first. So 80 exactly enough with our Perrserker. Magnetic Tension for the final kill. This is quite an unusual deck, so I don't think your opponent is gonna expect... If they're not smart enough, I don't think they're gonna expect a knockout on their bench. Their one prize bench, their supports. If they are not aware enough as well, because we can actually do our quick shoot every single turn. And Perrserker actually boosts damage all of your metal types attacks, including Iron Tackle, so it's quite a lot that we are playing, quite a different strategy, a different gameplay, and you know, not the usual kind of flavor, not the usual format that you see played on standard. So I don't think people are going to be that aware of the strategy that we're playing. But there are a lot of smart people these days playing meta decks. Even if they are playing those decks, Arceus VSTAR, you know, those boring decks like Mew VMAX, they are intelligent enough to pull them off in such a way that even if they are up against one prize decks or control decks, they know how to play, they know how to bench just the right thing, they know how to control their hand, control their cards. You know, if they're playing against Kyogre, don't bench so many cards. If they're playing against control decks, they know how to use Sigilyph at just the right time against one prize decks. So playing in a smart way guarantees you success. You know, it doesn't matter what matchup you're up against. You have a high chance of winning as long as you're an experienced player. But you know, sometimes it relies on luck though. Not always that you get to win with any deck that you're playing. Even if you're playing a meta deck, a super strong hyper advantage deck with Shady Dealing, Starbirth, I don't think it's guaranteed, because there's always an element of luck in there. There's always an element of it's always a gamble, I would say, because this game relies a lot on that coin flip. Whether you go first, whether you get a good hand to start, even if you have a really good start, it you know, depends on how the game progresses as well. So it's never certain. I don't think there's any level of certainty this game can offer, because if there is, I don't think anyone would play this game, right? So we're up against a very interesting deck right now. They're playing a Goodra. So Slimy Room Goodra actually forces your opponent to flip a coin each time they attach each time they want to attach an energy from their hand to their Pokemon. If they flip a Tails, they actually have to discard that energy from their hand. So they actually get to attach more than once. They get to, you know, try to attach more than once. But for each attachment, they have to flip a coin. So that means you're essentially trying to waste your opponent's energy card with that ability. It is a stage 2 card though, so you have to play a rare candy. You have to play enough copies of the stage 1 in your deck as well. They are using a very interesting combo with Seaking, Ripping Horn to discard energy as well. So if you manage to attach energy cards from your hand, if you get to bypass Goodra's ability, if Goodra doesn't get to discard enough energy cards from your hand, they have Seaking to discard with their attack. So Seaking, Ripping Horn with the 𝘿𝙚𝙢𝓚 to discard with coin flips, up to 3 energy cards from your active Pokemon every single turn. So this is quite an interesting control deck that we're seeing, removing all energy cards from play until you have nothing to attack with. Right? If you have no energies, you can't attack, unless if you're playing Flaffy. So this, I think there's always a counter for any deck that you're playing. So the best counter against Seaking, against Goodra, or against this specific deck that we're playing up against, very, very cool to see those two cards together. So playing these two up against these two, now we actually have to think about conserving our energy cards. It's not good to discard the energy, but we actually decided to. We have no choice. So we wanted to get our twin energy out, but we got no twin energy, so that means we can't do a kill this turn. We're not able to knock out the Goomy on the bench, which is our main priority. We wanted to do that, but unfortunately we are not able to. 140 damage with the Probopass. Iron Tackle on the next turn. I don't think it's too bad. 140, we just need to get our Sobble out for the quick shoot. So if we can quick shoot the Sliggoo on the bench, the Goodra on the bench, we can collect the knockout with our Magnetic Tension on a different Pokemon on the bench. So let's hope they bench something else, because they're probably going to evolve the Sliggoo on the bench. Goomy. Okay, they actually pass the turn. So let's do a Bird Keeper. I think it's smarter to do the Magnetic Tension first, but we actually chose to do Iron Tackle because they could evolve the Goomy though. So we could have done our Magnetic Tension right now, which would have earned us our first prize. But if we did that though, they would have done the Seaking. They would have do Ripping Horn to discard all of our energy cards. So I think actually this would actually be the smarter move. Playing Iron Tackle to do as much damage as we can, and then collecting the knockout with Inteleon later. Just because Goodra actually has quite a high HP, I don't think it's that easy to kill it. So if they evolve the second one, we're done. There we go. Oh my goodness. It's going to be very difficult to win this game. They are discarding our energy cards every single turn. So they can either choose to win by attacking slowly with Goodra and Seaking, because both Pokemon gets to attack. They get to do 120 with Goodra and 50 damage with Pierce. Seaking can also attack. So slowly killing us bit by bit with those damage once they have done all the full discard. Once they have done, a total energy discard on your opponent's end, they can actually slowly collect their prizes. Or they can just deck you out. We have our Inteleon though, so they better be collecting their prize cards. So Inteleon is gonna slowly damage all of their Pokemon one at a time. I don't think it's gonna earn enough turns for us to do enough knockouts. But let's hope we get to kill a few Pokemons with our Probopass before Inteleon shows up. So I don't know what we can do this turn. I don't think we can do a knockout. We don't actually have the second Perrserker inside the deck. Unfortunately, we have 2 Perrserker prize. That means we're only doing 60 damage with Magnetic Tension. They're not playing a V card, so Choice Belt is useless. 60 damage is not quite enough. If they don't evolve though, we can actually quick shoot for the knockout. Let's hope they don't. I mean, they're probably going to, right? They don't actually have a rare candy. They did a incense for both. Oh my goodness, another incense. That's quite lucky though. I mean, they evolved everything. They didn't get the rare candy, I suppose that's why. They got Pot Helmet. to reduce damage done to their Pokemon. So Iron Tackle is not going to be able to kill them that easily. 120 damage is enough though, right? We're doing 140 minus 30. So it's exactly enough. They actually discarded our energy cards, all of it. So I don't think we can kill it right now. We can attach from our hand. Now that Goodra is off the active spot. But we can't attack. If we don't get a Twin Energy, we can't attack. So let's just discard our hand. We are searching for nothing, but at least we get to discard those, unnecessary resources, and then play a Marnie to get a better hand. I don't think we have a choice but to play that card. We are saving our opponent's hand, but we don't have a choice. Let's just do our Inteleon to collect the prize card. We need to be collecting the prize fast so that we get to draw out our Perrserker. So let's just kill the Goodra right now, just in case they play a Scoop Up Net. You never know if they are playing that card in their deck. So Scoop Up to erase all the damage counters. And then basically bench it all over again. So we got our Perrserker, that's great. We're gonna do our double turbo for 60 damage, killing off nothing. We're not killing anything, but at least we get to damage the Goodra, I suppose. We're just gonna do it. We're gonna damage something. It's not a lot, but at least it's something. We got our Farfetch on the bench, so let's hope Farfetch is gonna help us collect something. Hit a knockout or two. So they're killing the Probopass unfortunately right now. 120 is just nice. I'm not sure how it has 2 damage counters on it. I think we did Iron Tackle. I'm not sure. I don't think we did it twice though. I'm not sure why we have 2 damage counter on both the Probopass, but oh well. Let's just try and tank enough damage to survive a few more turns. So I think our best bet right now is to put the Inteleon forth for us to tank enough damage to survive a hit, because they can't do a knockout on the next turn. If we put anything else, we're gonna, they're gonna kill us, so I don't think we can afford to sacrifice those prize cards. Or even those Pokemon, because we need our Farfetch for the attack, we need our Probopass, we need Perrserker for the damage boost. So we have no choice but to put forth Inteleon, which is kind of very important. Really important for that. We got Tulabo, that's great. So we got a Drizzle inside the deck and a Sobble as well, we saw. So let's just do our Sobble. We got another Inteleon as well inside the deck. So if this one dies, we just have to bring out the second one fast enough. So if we get a Raihan with the Drizzle on the next turn, that's gonna help us a lot, unless if they play Marnie. So they're probably gonna kill the Inteleon on the active spot. If they do that, we got our Raihan on the next turn. Here comes Pot Helmet, but that's not gonna do anything because Inteleon is gonna kill it off on the next turn. They actually wasted the Pot Helmet on that thing. They should have attached it to the bench, right? Because Pot Helmet is not doing anything against the damage counters. We are killing it off so that we get to attach our energy card, and we actually get to do Waterfall for an extra prize this turn. So we did Waterfall against the Goomy, as you'll see. It's quite interesting that they decided to put the Goomy instead of the Seaking, expecting us to not attach energy from our hand, to not do a knockout. They actually dismissed our Inteleon. I suppose they didn't realize it could attack. Okay, Drizzle, Shady Dealings. We actually missed it. We missed the timing, so it's really disheartening because I did not know what to get. I have no idea what to get with that Shady Dealings. We should be getting a supporter card at the very least. So we decided on Raihan, but we weren't too sure because we wanted possibly to get an Incense for Inteleon. If we get an Incense for Inteleon, that would help us a bit more. If we do a Raihan, we could probably do the Incense as well. But maybe a Cynthia would be better. Just because they may... Well, they can't do a Goodra, right? So that means we get to attach from our hand right now. So on the next turn, we get to attach from our hand. And, oh, we actually didn't evolve. Why didn't we evolve? I mean, we should be evolving. We didn't evolve the Drizzile. That was silly. We forgot to evolve the Drizzile. I don't know what happened there. We wasted one turn not evolving. That was really, really bad. So they discarded our energy cards. Now they're gonna kill it with Pierce. They played Crushing Hammer, which is horrible. So quick shoot the Goomy. And you'll see right now that we actually search for nothing, which is horrible. Raihan, Cynthia, there's so many things you could do. Ultra Ball for Inteleon so they get extra snipe. If we get Inteleon right now, we can actually kill the Goomy if they don't evolve on the next turn. So I'm kind of torn between Raihan and Ultra Ball. But we decided on Raihan, and then last minute we changed our mind to Ultra Ball. And then we changed our mind again, and that's the end. It's too late now. It's too late. We got nothing. Look at that. We got nothing. So don't be flicker-minded. Don't be like me. Don't be too fickle. We learn from our mistakes, right? So don't just decide on something. Don't underestimate the timing. And now we got nothing in our hand, no supporter cards, no energy, we're done. What are we gonna do? They're only doing 50 damage though, so let's just buy some time with that Farfetch. Farfetch is gonna die, unfortunately. So we can't do League Lash anymore. We're gonna have to kill 3 more Pokemon, so I don't think we have a high chance of winning here. We need 3 more knockouts for the win. It's looking really bad. We got our Inteleon, at least. We need an energy on the next turn. They're probably gonna retreat to the Goodra and then do their attack with Goodra for 120 damage. Do their slimy room for us to get trapped with that energy discard. I don't know what to do on the next turn. If they retreat, we're done for. I don't think they have enough energies though. Okay, they got it. Oh my god. They got so many cards though. So many Pokemon cards in their hand, inside the deck. They keep attaching from their hand every single turn, which is horrible. We can't afford for that to happen. So Buster Tail for the knockout, and now they got Slimy Room activated. We can't attach from the hand, otherwise we're gonna have to discard. I don't think we have a choice though, so we're just gonna gamble. We have no choice but to flip the coin, because we actually did the Drizzile too late. We could have evolved it faster, the Drizzile, and we could have done a search for a Raihan. That would have helped us a lot. But we actually did something really stupid. We evolved late and searched for nothing. So 2 big mistakes, big fat ugly mistakes for this game. I'm really sorry to say, but sometimes you have no choice, it just happens. So we actually got a hits. Pretty lucky. I'm quite happy. At least we got something. And now we're gonna get we're gonna do Cynthia on the next turn for draw up to 4 cards possibly. If we get to play an item on the next turn, another item. 120 is not enough. Let's hope we can kill the Goodra with our Iron Tackle. I think that's our only hope. So Crushing Hammer, thank God. We got really lucky though. Okay, they got quite a lot of heads with the Ripping Horn Seaking just now, so I suppose it's reasonable for us to get a few hits, right? For us to get a heads with against the Slimy Room and the tails on their Crushing Hammer. So you can't play Glimwood Tangle for your item cards. Doesn't work that way. Let's just do the Manaphy and then slowly kill the Manaphy right now. while we can. So all we need is a heads right now. If we got a heads, we can kill one Pokemon and then aim to collect the final prize card after the Manaphy knockout. So we have 2 prize cards remaining if we get a heads right now. Please get a heads. We got a heads, there we go. Oh my god, that's super lucky. So we got a heads, that means we get to kill the Goodra. And that is gonna do a lot for us. That's gonna do so much. Iron Tackle for the knockout. I don't think they can survive because we have Perrserker. So we're doing 160 minus 30 with the pot helmet. We're doing 130 damage plus 60 for the Inteleon. So 190, they can't survive that. But we are killing ourselves because of the recoil damage. So Iron Tackle does 20 to itself. Unfortunately, we have no choice but to do a suicidal gambit. So both players now have 2 prizes remaining. They have no more Goodra at least. Finally, all out of Goodras. No more Goomy Goodra. Let's see what we can do right now. I think we're just gonna put the Probopass. I think that's our best bet. They may just decide to pierce all the way because we have no energy. I think that's the only thing they can do, right? Pierce for the final 2 prize. Boss order. Okay, they boss something else. They're trying to kill Inteleon. I see. We have to retreat now. We may get a Bird Keeper if we're lucky. And we got it. We got a Bird Keeper. There we go. Wow. We're gonna bench our Nosepass and then Bird Keeper to the Probo. We may choose to Bird Keeper to our Nosepass if we got an energy in our hand, but I think it's better just to maybe sacrifice 1 prize. I don't think they can collect the final prize that easily. Unless if they have another Goodra. Or if they can boss the Meowth on the bench and do a Bibarel knockout. Bibarel can actually do 100 damage, so let's not underestimate that Pokemon. They do still need to flip a coin, but they have Glibwood Tangle for it to attack. So Bibarel can flip 2 coins. If they get a heads, they can do 100 damage, so I don't think we should underestimate that Pokemon. We got an energy, which is great. We're gonna attach to the active, and then they're gonna, we're gonna bait them to kill it with Pierce. If they do Ripping Horn, we're done, because we can't actually afford not to attach energy cards. If they discard the energy though, if they kill our active, we just need to Raihan, right? We got a Raihan inside the deck. If we Raihan, we can do Iron Tackle for the final knockout, because we got Quick Shoot for Manaphy to die. Manaphy is dying 2 turns after. So we're just gonna evolve. I think we can win on the next turn. If we got our Twin Energy, it's done, right? So let's just play a Marnie. If we got our Twin Energy, we can actually kill the Seaking. So they took the bait. They took the bait by doing a Pierce, which is quite silly because we are playing a stage 1. It's quite easy for us to evolve. It is our final copy though. Our final copy of Probopass, so it's quite lucky that we got it. We got our Twin Energy, there we go. That means we get to kill it this turn. 110 HP plus, what's it called? A pot helmet is not enough. We're doing 130 damage with the damage reduction. So 130 is more than enough to kill it. And that's it. That's the end of the game. That is the end. We got our Perrserker. We got Inteleon. There's no way they can win this game. I mean, there's no way they can win now. Right? I don't think there's any possible way. Unless if they do a boss. If they boss and retreat to the Bibarel, they can actually kill Inteleon. So, okay, no boss. I'm quite worried about that. Bibarel does 100 damage though. I mean, it's quite ridiculous, isn't it? Don't look past that attack because they have Glibwood Tangle. Quite smart, isn't it? It's basically a toolbox that you can either discard the energy with your Ripping Horn or play your ability to force your opponent to flip the coin. You can even attack with Bibarel, so you have a lot at your disposal. A lot of different tool cards, a lot of different tools at your disposal. Not tool cards. Resources. So we actually won by killing the Manaphy for the final prize. It was quite ridiculous. We got quite lucky, but they got quite lucky as well. They got really lucky early on in the game. They keep evolving the Sliggoo before we can do our Magnetic Tension. So evolving it fast every single turn is quite bogus, I would say, because you need to draw a lot of cards to be able to pull it off, but they keep getting it. They keep getting their Rod, and they keep recycling, they keep evolving to the stage 2 that easily. But we got pretty lucky later on. So sticking it out, we actually stuck out for the long game, and that actually earned us a really cool win. An unexpected win. Okay, now we're up against a Torterra deck, Torterra with Cherrim. So important to note that we can't attack the Cherubi with Probopass, we can't use Magnetic Tension. So Magnetic Tension, we are using the effect to switch the bench Pokemon, so we can't switch Cherubi into the active spot, and if we can't do that, we can't do damage to it, because we are doing the switch first. So if we can't switch Cherubi, we're not damaging it at all. So make sure you're aware of that, don't do Magnetic Tension on that Pokemon. So since we can't attack with the first attack, let's just attach our Metal Energy, prepare for Iron Tackle, and then Perrserker to evolve. We're going to do Drizzile early so that we get to do Quick Shoot later. Oh, we actually decided to evolve the bench. Interesting. So let's just get another Incense for either the Probopass or another Perrserker. What are we going to get? Oh, we actually got a Research. Okay. Because apparently they got a bad hand. I think. I'm not too sure. So let's just focus on the game. We're gonna choose to evolve later because we got the weakness. So 100 damage is enough to kill the Bibarel. If they retreat to the bench, we can actually kill the Bibarel. Because we have Inteleon for the extra 2 damage counters. So 80 damage with Magnetic Tension, and then 2 damage counters with Inteleon. Just enough to kill Bibarel. So that's why I chose not to evolve. So make sure you calculate, devious diabolically, because Inteleon can actually do a lot for you. So they got no cards in their hand. I think our best bet is to kill the Bibarel. They're probably going to retreat right now. 1000% they're going to retreat. They have no choice but to. Oh, they chose not to retreat though. So that means we got Iron Tackle. We can do Iron Tackle for the knockout. I think they saw the Magnetic Tension. They knew we were going to do Magnetic Tension, so they chose not to retreat. And we actually got our first knockout. That means they got nothing in their hand. So we got to tension the Cherrim on the next turn. I think that's our best bet. If we tension the Cherrim, they can't actually do enough damage with Evo Press, and they can't attach energy to their next Pokemon. So even if they got their Grottle, Torterra, if they get their Research for Rare Candy Evolution, they still can't do enough damage with the Evo Press. So I think our best bet is to do Magnetic Tension on the Cherrim first, and then kill the Torterra one by one. So it's anyone's game still. It's not set. If they stick it out, they still can stand a chance of winning. But they actually decided to concede, so oh well. They got only one card in their hand though, I suppose. That's why. A lot of cards left inside the deck, so I don't think they're gonna draw a supporter card anytime soon. And we got Magnetic Tension to kill everything. Iron Tackle as well, one at a time. We got 80 damage already in, and possibly even another 2 damage counter with Inteleon. So that's like, a Cherrim knockout and that extra 2 damage counters on the Turtwig. Grottle is actually not a level ball card, unfortunately. So So that means you can't evolve Grottle with a level ball, and you can't do the Sun-Drenched Shell. You can't use the ability with level ball. Whereas with Drizzile, you can use the ability. With Cinccino, same thing. You can use level ball to earn you that ability, right? Fluffy, but you can't use it for Liepard. So that's the bad thing. They're actually making it much more difficult now. It has higher HP though, I suppose. It can survive a bit longer. I think it's only 120, so it can't even survive a Urshifu. It's quite sad, isn't it? It should be 130 at least. So now we're up against a V-Union deck. It's a Zacian V-Union. So this is quite interesting. They're playing a Bronzong. They're playing a full V-Union though. Triple V-Union deck. So they have Aurora Energy, Bronzong, Mewtwo, Zacian, and Greninja V-Union. All the 3 V-Unions, all the early V-Unions, no Pikachu, no Morpeko, but they got those different types, and the Aurora Energy to substitute for Metal Energy, so you get to transfer and also replace for Psychic, Water Energy for Greninja as well. So that's very interesting. You just need to discard any one of your V-Union, any 4 copies, and you're good to go to summon any one of your V-Union. And once you done your first one, once you attack, once the first V-Union gets knocked out, you're probably going to be able to discard enough pieces to summon your second copy, right? And then by the time the second copy comes out, you get your Metal Saucer for Metal Transfer, and then you can attack again. So bad thing about Aurora Energy is that your opponent can play Fan of Waves or Yveltal, what's it called, Cry of Destruction to discard your special energies, Flannery as well. So I don't think it's that powerful anymore, Aurora Energy V-Unions. But it is interesting because we are not playing all of those control cards. So stick around if you want to watch Zacian. They're actually pulling out Zacian for this game, but they have Mewtwo and Greninja. They could actually choose to pull out those copies as well. I think Mewtwo is gonna help them a lot more, right? If they play Mewtwo, they can actually damage our bench, like boss something in the active, trap us in the active spot while placing 16 damage counters every single turn. I think that's gonna destroy us. It's gonna kill us so fast because we don't have any way of preventing the damage counter placement. No big Parasol, no Wash Energy. I think those are the only ones that prevent damage counter placement. So big Parasol is actually pretty strong, right? Against your Galarian Rumrigus, against Mewtwo V-Union, against Mimikyu VMAX, against Dragapult as well. Okay, we got a Drizzile, Shady Dealings for a level ball. We're gonna get a second Nose Pass. We're gonna attach the energy right now. So we actually killed the Bronzor because we knew they were trying to transfer to the V-Union. We saw them discarding those copies. 2 pieces in the discard pile. They need 2 more. So Magnetic Tension to kill the Cinccino before it evolves, which is great. 80 damage, kills any basic. Not a non-V basic, obviously. Except for Snorlax. Snorlax is actually quite heavy, right? A basic that is able to evolve, right? Evolvable basic support. So they got their second Minccino. Another bait for us to collect. An extra prize card. So we're killing a Bronzor. We killed a Bronzor and 2 Minccinos now. We just need to slowly set up our bench. And then possibly get Inteleon out. No Inteleon, unfortunately. So we got Raihan, but it's not going to help us because they're not doing a knockout that early. We can actually choose to do Iron Tackle to kill the Snorlax. But I think the worst thing is to deal with the Chinchino because they can discard those copies with their ability. So let's just force them to discard with their Quick Ball, Ultra Ball, Aurora Energy. I think they can quite easily discard though. So they played a boss. There we go, we got trapped. Now we're in trouble because we have no switch cards in this deck. Not a lot. We only have 2 Bird Keepers for the switch and that's it. So now we have to wait on the bench for a Bird Keeper. If we got a Sobble, we can actually Shady for the bird. But I don't think we have it inside the deck. So it's stuck in the prize card, unfortunately. We're just gonna get another Nosepass. And attach the energy to the active because we can prepare for the retreat later. So if we retreat, we can actually attack, kill the Menafee, and then Iron Tackle. Well, we should do Iron Tackle first, right? Oh, we should be killing the Bronzong. There we go. They can't go without the Bronzong though. They need the Bronzong. So that's why they chose to play a second boss. You'll see right now that they actually play another boss to trap us a second time. So that's really horrible. Because now we need 2 more energies. We need a double turbo to retreat now. If we can't kill the Bronzor, we're done for. Because it's gonna evolve and we're dead. So we got an Incense. We can actually do our Quick Shoot right now, but we actually didn't realize that. So this is one of the earlier version of the list. One of the earlier gameplays that I did not realize that we could do Quick Shoot early. You know, I wasn't aware of how Inteleon works. I wasn't too experienced with that card because I don't really play that card much. I know it's really broken and really overused in the standard meta, and I don't like it just because it's overused. But it's important to know how to use them when you need to, because for a weak deck, for a one prize weak deck that requires a support, sometimes you have no choice but to play those cards just to give you that extra lift, to give you that extra boost, to make it survive against meta decks. So we're not playing that, it's not that powerful, our combo is not that powerful, but we can do a decent knockout on the bench support Pokemons, and we can do a decent amount of damage with Iron Tackle as well to collect the knockout against V Pokemons after the first Magnetic Tension hit. So I don't think it's that bad, especially if we have that 1 copy of Farfetch and 2 Inteleons in this deck. I think it's quite good supports. That's why we need them, right? So Peonia, Ultra Ball, they got 3 pieces, they actually got all 4 discarded already. 2 pieces of the Greninja. I don't think they have Mewtwo. I'm not sure, I don't think they have Mewtwo. My bad. So I actually saw it, I mislooked the discard pile. I thought that was a Mewtwo, but I think that's a Greninja. So they are playing only Zacian Greninja with Bronzong Aurora Energy. Pretty interesting. I think I actually built this deck though. I built this deck with Adventurous Discovery, but without Ultra Ball. So Ultra Ball is going to make your V-Union decks much stronger. I think I built it with Blissey, Bronzong, and V-Unions. I'm not sure if I even have a Blissey. I think we only have a Bronzong. But now that Menafee and Ultra Ball is out, it's going to make it so much stronger. But I don't know, Flannery, Fan of Waves, there's so many cards to destroy your special energies. Cry of Destruction, especially that one. Crushing Hammer. I don't really like playing special energies, that's why. So we are playing Twin Energy for this deck though, so we don't really get to judge them. We actually get to do Quick Shoot and Iron Tackle for this turn, and then we got our Raihan for a second hit. So Iron Tackle twice is enough to collect the final 3 prize. We actually don't need to do we don't need to collect the last 3 by killing the 1 prize on the bench. We can choose to do Magnetic Tension 3 times by killing off the Meowth, Manaphy, and possibly the Bronzong if we do enough Quick Shoots. So Quick Shoot 3 times plus 1 Magnetic Tension is just enough to kill the Bronzong. 60 damage plus another 60 from Quick Shoot. But we would need our 3rd Twin Energy. So I think that's why we chose to attack with... that's why we chose to use Iron Tackle, just because if we kill the V-Union, that's it, right? And if we kill anything on the bench, they can actually choose to bring out a 2nd V-Union. So they are playing Mewtwo. There we go. It is a Mewtwo. So they have three different V-Unions. Greninja, Mewtwo, and Zacian. So now they need a scoop up net. If we don't kill their bench, they actually are forced to play the Zacian. They can attack with nothing else. If we kill anything on the bench, they're probably going to attack with a Greninja or a Mewtwo by doing the transfer and switch. So it's smarter to play Iron Tackle because they don't have enough bench spots for the V-Union, for the next V-Union. So we actually got our Fan of Waves. We actually got it earlier, but we forgot, we weren't aware enough to play it at just the right time. We could have done it at the right moment though, because they got an Aurora Energy and we got a Fan of Waves in our hand just now. But we actually looked past that and they conceded because we got our Final Strike, we got our Choice Belt and the Perrserker. We got 180 damage, I think. 170 damage. 170 damage plus Quick Shoot as well. That's more than enough to kill the Zacian V. The V-Union, 330 HP though, quite a lot. So 180 plus 170, I think it's more than enough. 350. They're only 330 HP. Okay, now we're up against a Darkness deck. We got a Metal coin, Metal type coin, they got a Darkness type coin. And they got a Darkness box from the challenge. So you have to actually complete all the challenge to get those specific deck box. The type specific deck box, the special deck box, and also your deck sleeve and coin. And we have a water coin for our Orbeetle Inteleon. We have, they have a Darkness deck sleeve for Sableye. So they're playing Sableye V and Sigilyph to place the damage counter with Horror Energy and counter attack. So counter attack, each time you damage their Sigilyph, you're gonna have to take 3 damage counter recoil. So make sure you're aware of that. Don't attack the Sigilyph. If you can, just choose not to attack. We actually get to choose. We have the luxury to attack their bench. So that means we get to bypass, we get to avoid the ability every single turn. By playing Magnetic Tension, attacking the bench every turn. So that means they can't place damage counter that easily. They have Zigzagoon though. So they actually placed it on Sobble, not realizing that we are trying to attack with Probopass. We attach the energy to the Nosepass though. They should be targeting that Pokemon because that is our main attacker. Let's just do Bird Keeper first. If we get our evolution card, we can actually save the Incense for something else. So let's evolve one Meowth and then get a Drizzile with the Incense and then get another Incense for a 2nd Perrserker. And that means we got our Magnetic Tension for 80 damage. Not a lot, but it's something. We could actually choose to get, what's it called, a Choice Belt. But we chose instead for Perrserker. It actually helps you for every Pokemon that you attack with though. It's kind of better in a sense because if they play a Tool Scrapper, Tool Jammer, you can't use your Choice Belt anymore. If they knock out your active, Choice Belt doesn't work anymore. We only have 2 copies of the Tool card. So I think it's better to, it lasts a bit longer, I would say. Perrserker's ability lasts longer than the Choice Belt. 80 damage is not a lot, but we got Quick Shoot on the next turn to collect the knockout if they retreat to the bench. So they better be attacking with Sableye on the next turn. We're gonna target a Sableye. We're gonna you know, KIV on the Zacian. Hit it later. Okay, here comes their first Crazy Claw. If they have a Scoop Up Net, they may be able to kill us. They just need a Level Ball and a Scoop Up Net. I think their main strategy is Sigilyph though. I don't think they have that many Zigzagoons. You never know. There we go. Only 10 damage with the Crazy Claw. Horrible. Now we got 2 damage counters in. Let's hope we can draw out a Metal Energy. We should be killing the Sableye right now. But if we attack with Iron Tackle, we're gonna give them... So let's just not do that. We can't even do it anyways. We're gonna give them the free knockout with Crazy Claw, right? Because we're doing 2 damage counter on ourselves. Let's just Magnetic Tension on the Zacian this turn to buy us some time because they actually need to retreat. 2 energy retreat costs. Zacian is only there for the draw, apparently. It's not there to attack. So we got Bruno to draw on the next turn. We're gonna pull out the Zacian and then kill the Sableye with our second Probopass and possibly our third Perrserker. So 100 damage. We got Quick Shoot for either Zacian or the Sableye. They actually chose to do... They did nothing else though. They got nothing. They pass a turn doing Intrepid Sword and nothing else. So let's just kill off the Sableye with 1 Quick Shoot and 1 Magnetic Tension. We're gonna attach the metal onto the bench. Let's just do a Bruno later. Okay. We got our third Perrserker, that's great. So we're doing 100 damage with Magnetic Tension onto the Zacian. That means we just need to Quick Shoot for that extra 2 price. They should have attacked with Sigilyph though, right? Oh, they actually got the knockout right now. So 1 Zigzagoon is all they need. And switch for the Crazy Claw knockout. Oh, they didn't get a switch though. Oh my goodness, no switch. That's horrible. I thought we needed to get a third Nosepass out, but we don't even need our Nosepass. So that's it. We just need to attach the energy, Bruno, and we don't even need to play Bruno. We don't need to do anything else. If they do a boss though, we may need our Bird Keeper, but I don't think they're playing a control deck. They are intending on drawing all 6 prizes to win the game, and I don't think it's possible anymore. So we got 100 damage on Zacian, and on the next turn we can kill it with our Quick Shoot. If they don't attach a cape onto the Zacian, quite likely to have a cape inside the deck. So here comes Bird Keeper and Crazy Claw. At long last, they are doing a knockout. Unnecessary damage. So they got Slowking in there as well for the poison, and the first attack, the basic Pokemon's attack is actually quite strong. I forgot the attack actually, but I forgot the name, but it actually forces, it knocks out your opponent's Pokemon. It's kind of like Perish Song. So if your opponent don't switch, they are knocked out at the end of your opponent's next turn. So if you play Galarian Muck with your Slowking V, you can kill your opponent's Pokemon in the active spot, any Pokemon with the effect of an attack, which is pretty cool. But you have to pass the turn though. If your opponent plays a switch or if they evolve their Pokemon, they get to remove the effect. If they play a Wash Energy or what's it called, Big Parasol, they can't actually use the effect anymore. So we got a Raihan, we got all 4 prizes this turn thanks to our Quick Shoot. And Perrserker actually helps us do a knockout with Iron Tackle. We got our Choice Belt with Raihan as well. That is amazing though. That is perfection. So let's see how much we get to pull off. We're doing up to 190, I think. 210 because we got all 3 Perrserkers. We got the max damage with Iron Tackle for this game. We get to do 210 killing a V card, and also that quick shoot for 2 damage counter on the last turn. We did 230 damage against the Sableye, more than enough to kill it, even with a Cape of Toughness. So Cape is not gonna help it survive. Nothing is gonna help it survive. Sableye is dead. Okay, now we're up against Urshifu VMAX. It's actually a League Battle deck, this one, so it's not that strong, but you know, it is something. Don't underestimate League Battle decks. The Inteleon VMAX one is still pretty strong. If you don't have a Metaphy, they can still win quite easily because Inteleon is broken, as we all know. But Urshifu, I don't think stand a good chance because I don't think it's really that strong. The League Battle deck is quite weak. They have Chinchino, they have Phalanx. They do have Cheryl though. Cheryl and Boss Order, which is going to help them a lot. But, I mean, Phalanx is quite a bad card to be playing. Because Phalanx and Chinchino doesn't work. Phalanx Chinchino makes no sense, right? Octillery Phalanx kind of does. But Octillery doesn't help too much. You kind of need your Chinchino. Or something else to draw cards with. Enough supporter cards, I would say. If you are not playing Chinchino, you need power supporter cards like Research, Marnie. Okay, let's do Ultra Ball for our third copy of Meowth. Or maybe we should be getting a Sobble. Okay, we chose to get a Sobble. I think it's safer that way. So we're gonna pause a turn. Not attaching an energy, unfortunately. We're not able to. Going first is the best deal for this deck. If you go first, you get to evolve on your second turn, and then pull out any basic on the bench, any basic supports like Mary, Sobble, anything Bronzor, anything that they rely heavily on, that they need to get their system running, that they are depending on for the ability. So right now you can see that they're actually relying on Chinchino, and we actually got our first knockout here. We got our Drizzile for another evolution. So we're trying to get rid of those cards from the deck, draw out as many cards from the deck with our ability and our incense, so that we get to what do you call that? Retrieve our energy with our research. Not retrieve, but pull out the energy card. Because we need our twin energy for the knockout if we want to do a Chinchino kill. So we chose to get the Nosepass because we can actually draw out, we can use Evolution Roar for the Perrserker, but we actually got it into our hand. So that's quite lucky. We don't need to use the ability. We don't need to discard anything from our hand, fortunately. Discarding is not quite a good deal. So we actually get to play Fan of Wave as well. Look at that. We get to play Fan to deny them that extra Rapid Flow attack, or even the 100 Furious Blow. 100 Furious Blow is going to kill our Probopass on the next turn. So Fan of Wave actually was the perfect card that we got from the 7 draw that we get with Research. So Research is actually quite lucky, isn't it? Research always gives you a lucky hand. Not always, but for me, most times when I play that card. We got Twin Energy, Perrserker, and Fan of Waves, which is just perfect. Kill the Chinchino, and now they can't do a knockout. They're done. Got our Iron Tackle, and we got our Evolution. We just need to get a Raihan, I suppose, for the next hit. We got Farfetch though. That means we just need to attach the Twin Energy for the final knockout. If they don't bench anything, they're done. So Iron Tackle for 170 damage this turn. And then Farfetch to collect the knockout. Just because they have a Stone Energy, otherwise we would have done 190. So 190 is still not enough though. Even with another Perrserker, we're doing only a max of 210. So I don't think it's enough to kill a V card. They're probably going to evolve right now. So Inteleon is not going to show up fast enough for you to kill the V card before they evolve. So make sure you're aware of that. Don't invest too much if they're playing Sharon or Cheryl to heal their cards. Don't invest on those V Pokemon, because if you collect damage counters on the V Pokemons trying to do a 2-hit knockout, they can quite easily recover those damage or even play scoop up scoop out cards like Cherrim and Cheryl. Okay, we actually got our second iron, our first one. That's the first one, my bad. We got our energy card for the retreat, and that's it. Won against Urshifu, the League Battle deck. They didn't actually draw enough cards into their hand. Without the Chinchino, they're done, because they actually rely on that ability for the support. No draw support, no cards in their hand, and they're done. Not even an evolution. Okay, let's go in for our next one. We're up against Sci-Fi Medic. I wonder what they're playing. They got a Shaymin coin, a Floral Shaymin coin, a landform. Looks pretty weak, doesn't it? Shaymin looks pretty weak, but I quite like the Skyform. The Skyform looks pretty cool. Secret Garden. Secret something. I think it has the Secret Garden attack. I'm not too sure. I forgot. He's pretty old. Quite an old Pokemon. Shaymin EX. I remember that card. Everyone used to hate that card because it has the Crobat V ability, and you get to use it more than once though. Every single turn, you get to keep playing, stacking the ability, draw so many cards into your hand, bench so many Shaymins. It's crazy, and you get to return it into your hand as well. Isn't that madness? Sky Return, and that crazy ability to draw and return, draw and return. Insanity. And now that we have our powerful energy, it's actually going to help out on your expanded format. We should actually try playing Shaymin EX for expanded with Choice Belt and, well, not Choice Belt, Muscle Band will actually help out much better. Because Choice Belt actually doesn't work against GXs. So if we're playing expanded, you have to watch out for GX, obviously. So let's just focus on this one. Right now we're up against Orbeetle, a stage 2 box. So Orbeetle, Evomancy actually helps you search your deck for any stage 2 card, put it directly onto your bench, which is pretty cool. An unheard of effect, very powerful effect, same as your Lifesplosion. So the old Cradily has the Lifesplosion attack to basically do the same effect, you know. For each grass energy attached to Cradily, you get to search your deck for a stage 2 card, put them onto your bench, shuffle your deck afterwards. It's a fossil though, that means you actually have to summon it with your root fossil. So it's not that easy to draw out your Cradily, to evolve it as well. It's a stage 2. It's a restored stage 1 Pokemon essentially. So you actually have to restore it first. It's quite different from the new cards because the new fossil actually, you are evolving it into a stage 2. Rare fossil into a stage 1. There's no stage 2 for Galar fossils, unfortunately. Just because it's only one. There's, you know, it's a basic. Essentially, it's a basic. The fossils are basics. Arctozolt, Dracovish, Arctovish, and Dracozolt. They don't get to evolve. Omastar and Kabuto are stage 2, just because they have one stage evolution and they are restored from. Well, you guys get the point. I'm over-explaining myself as usual. So here comes Rillaboom. They actually got their first Evomancy for the Voltage Beat. And if we don't kill the Orbeetle, they're gonna Voltage Beat onto it. If we kill something else, they're gonna Evomancy a second time. Even if they don't get to Voltage Beat, they can attach another energy from their hand to basically summon 2 more stage 2 Pokemons onto the bench. So that's the interesting thing about Orbeetle Rillaboom. I actually quite like this combo because I thought about it, but I tried it before Brilliant Stars and it didn't work so well just because we don't have double turbo, there's no Ultra Ball, it's not that easy to play Orbeetle without those cards. So now that those cards are out, I may actually try it. Orbeetle with Rillaboom and anything else really, any other stage 2 Pokemon that needs a lot of energy cards. Because Rillaboom, if they don't kill that card, it actually has quite high HP as well. If you have another bench Blipbug, you can actually Red Candy evolve the bench and then Voltage Beat to the second one to do Evomancy for another 2 summon, for another double summon. If they kill your Rillaboom with a boss, you can actually do Evomancy on your first Orbeetle for a double summon anyways, because you already have an energy attached to it. If you have a double turbo, you can summon 3 stage 2 Pokemons. So it's quite interesting to play that combo now that those cards are out. Pretty exciting. But we actually killed the Orbeetle, and now they can't attack. They got no energies, not enough energies. If they play a Raihan though, they can do 140 damage, which is just right to kill us because we are resistant to grass type. So 110 damage is enough. Not just right, but enough. So I think they actually chose to concede right here because they got no Blipbox on the bench. Nothing else. Nothing but a Rillaboom. It's pretty sad, right? Because Orbeetle needs Rare Candy. It's a stage 2 as well. I don't think there's any way to make it better. You can play Peony to make it easier for you to Rare Candy evolve. There's going to be Energy Lotto for the next set. Energy Lotto is going to help you get your double turbo twin energy. There's no triple XL for Orbeetle, unfortunately, so we can't actually do a triple acceleration for triple summon, which was actually pretty cool when we used to do it for Sun and Moon. Because when Battle Styles was first out, it wasn't rotated yet. I think rotation was after Chilling Reign. After Chilling Reign, rotation got activated and no more Sun and Moon cards from then. And we're stuck with nothing but Orbeetle Inteleon. Right? Everybody keeps spamming that Shady Dealings. It's crazy. Shady Dealings and Quick Shoot became like the go-to for any deck. Became so meta. So here comes Dragapult. We're actually fighting a V battle deck. We're up against a Gardevoir V battle deck, and they actually have a powerful card in this deck, quite a strong card, Dragapult Stage 2 with the crazy ability. I forgot what it's called, but if you damage that Dragapult, you have to flip a coin. Your opponent gets to flip a coin. If they flip a heads, you get to they get to prevent all damage done to that Dragapult. So it's quite broken in a sense, because if they keep flipping heads, you can't damage the Dragapult. You're doing 0 damage to that Pokemon. So make sure you are wary of that. Kill the Dragapult before it evolves. It is a stage 2. They have no rare candies for V battle deck. So all we can rely on is to kill it fast. They have 3 copies of the Tripe, so make sure you kill them fast. We don't want to be dealing with those coin flips. Okay, they got their energy cards in. They got nothing else on the bench. Okay, we got our twin energy. We're going to attach it to our Probopass. And then we're going to do our first knockout right here, killing the Tripe with our Magnetic Tension. We got our Perrserker, that's just right. 60 damage. No double turbo, fortunately. We're going to bench under the Meowth. Prepare for a 𝘿𝙘𝓿𝓽𝓽𝓼 knockout, because 𝘿𝙘𝓿 is actually only 80 HP. So we don't even need our Inteleon for the kill. If they evolve to the Dragapult, we still have our Quick Shoot, so we can actually avoid killing it until the last minute. Avoid flipping the coin by playing Magnetic Tension all the way throughout the entire game. They are playing a Fairy deck, so Fairy type Granbull actually helps you do double the damage with your Magnetic Tension. So we are doing 160 damage to kill the Granbull with one hit, 160 damage to the Gardevoir on the bench as well. So I think our best bet is to play that attack every single turn, and then kill the 𝘿𝙘𝓿𝓽𝓽𝓼, kill the Dragapult bit by bit with that Quick Shoot. Gym Trainer to draw 4 cards. Shining Fates. They got the Suspicious Foot Tin as well to recover damage. So Shining Fates card, very interesting. Gardevoir is actually Champion's Path. Oh, I think Suspicious Foot Tin is Champion's Path. My bad. Okay, we got our Drizzile. A bit too late, but since they're playing a V battle deck, it's not really too late, is it? So I think it's 90 HP. I'm not sure if it's 90 or 80. We just need our Metal Energy though. If we got a Metal Energy, we should be doing it right now. We should be killing the Dracloak with our Iron Tackle. Because they're not benching anything else apparently. They're choosing not to bench anything. So let's just discard a Marnie and play the Research. Oh, we actually have Probopass 2 copies in our hand though. We have 2 of the Stage 1 Probopass. So I think the best bet is to save those Stage 1. Just in case if we don't get our Metal Energy, we are only playing 4 copies of the Basic Energy. So we may not get it with our Research. So let's just play a Marnie to save our Stage 1. Just in case we don't get it. It's wiser to do that, you know, because if they kill your Probopass, you have no other attacker. So Iron Tackle, we actually get to do it. Pretty lucky. Because they would probably evolve on the next turn. And now they're down to 0 attackers. We got nothing in our hand though. We got no way of drawing cards. No way of attacking if they kill our Probopass. We have Farfetch, but it's not going to do enough damage. So Farfetch with Quick Shoot. We at least get to do 60 damage, I suppose. Incense, they can't evolve this turn. They're gonna get Clefable probably. Okay, they could choose to play the first attack, Windfall to draw cards into your hand, shuffle your hand into the deck, and then draw 6 cards. They got another Dreepy. Look how annoying is that thing. How annoying is that Pokemon? It keeps showing up. We have no choice but to keep using Magnetic Tension to kill the Dreepy. We have to keep targeting that Pokemon because that ability is crazy broken. You have no choice but to focus on that card. You have to focus on killing Dragapult. It's a pest. It's the worst kind of pest ever. Once it evolves, you're done. They can just keep... It's kind of like a Rapidash. It's worse than a Rapidash because they can keep flipping heads with that ability. It activates... it works on the bench. It works on the active. So, you know, there's no way you can get past that ability unless if you play special conditions or damage counters. So that thing is hella annoying. We're going to kill it right now and target something else later. We got finally our Nosepass. If they kill us on the next turn, I don't know what to do. We got Farfetch to fall back on. I don't think they can knock us out. I don't think it's possible. Playing a V-Battle deck. I mean, they need a Raihan and an Energy Switch. Right? And a Switch as well. A Switch at that. Air Balloon, Raihan, Energy Switch for Gardevoir to attack. Or just a Raihan for Clefable to kill us. I think Clefable can actually do enough damage. 60 if I'm not mistaken. Speed attack for 30 damage. So we're gonna die on the next turn. If we do Iron Tackle, we're gonna kill ourselves. So be aware, make sure of the Iron Tackle's recoil damage. If you're not aware of the recoil, you can actually kill yourself. So always be alert. Don't use the attack unless you are certain that you're not going to kill yourself. If you have no choice though, sometimes it's better to do it. As you saw earlier with the Goodra against the Goodra matchup. Okay, we're going to quick shoot the Gardevoir, I suppose. They're probably going to heal it, right? They're going to heal a lot of damage with their item cards and the Clefable. So might as well target the Gardevoir. And then Magnetic Tension, we are not killing it. We are almost killing it. 200 damage. 160 with Perrserker. Thanks to the weakness. 10 more damage, look at that. But they're healing everything, almost everything. So much damage with their item cards. It's ridiculous. Suspicious Foot Tin, Potion... I think they have a Cook as well. It doesn't matter though because we have our quick shoot. So there we go, the foot 10. 90 damage remaining. They got the Clefable as well, I forgot. Clefable for 20 more. So 90 on the next turn. We get to do 110 damage with Farfetch. And 9 damage counter up to 9 with Quick Shoot. That means it's 200. So not quite enough to kill the Gardevoir. Oh well. If only there's a metal Pokemon that does the same effect as Farfetch. If there is a metal Farfetch, then we can actually boost it with our Perrserker, right? So since we're not doing a knockout with the Twin Energy, let's just save the Twin for Probopass and just do League Lash with the double turbo. Might as well, right? Because they have 10 HP remaining anyways. And we can't kill it with Quick Shoot on the next turn because they're healing 20 damage. So Quick Shoot is not really helping too much. Just because of Clefable. One Quick Shoot is not enough. So all we need to do is Bird Keeper. I think we should do Shady Dealings for an Incense. And then evolve the Probopass to do Magnetic Tension. If we do Magnetic Tension now, we can avoid the knockout because they can quite easily Boss or Pokemon Catcher. I'm not sure if they have Boss or Catcher for the deck, but I'm pretty sure they have at least one or the other. So if they catch our Probopass before it evolves, it's going to be super bad because we can't actually we can't do a knockout after that easily. Especially if we have double turbo on the Farfetch. So let's just do it right now. They're probably going to attack with Gardevoir on the next turn anyways. We got 2 prize left. After this knockout, we're going to Magnetic Tension to kill the bench while we can before they do the Swelling Pulse on the Probopass. So always expect a boss order on the next turn. Make sure you use attack while you can. Use up your special effect while you can. And our main selling point for this deck, the most special effect that we can pull off, is our Magnetic Tension. Drawing out any Pokemons on the bench. Any one Pokemon on our opponent's bench. And then damaging up to 110 if they are playing a Pokemon V. Up to 80 or even 100 damage with our Perrserker. And also Quick Shoot Inteleon for the extra 2 damage counter. If they are playing a 1 prize. Okay, League Lash for the final knockout. We actually got a Choice Belt as well. Another Nose Pass, a Metal Energy. We're going to do everything right now. Quick Shoot for the extra 2. We actually did 160 damage. 190 damage. Look at that. With the double turbo. 350 enough to knock out a VMAX. So that's all for this video. I'm pretty happy to be fighting against a V-Battle deck in the standard meta on the ladder because you have so many Arceus V-Star matchups these days. So hope you guys enjoyed this video. Have a great day and bye for now, lovely people. Enjoy your life.